YouTube, I should say. So breathing earth Qigong primarily has been used as a way to deepen and make accessible Buddhist meditation practices. So that's what we're gonna do tonight. There's a couple things to mention before we go into it. So, you know, the breath is very, very basic to most meditation techniques, and I just want to just cover this a minute. The four parts of the breath. Okay, so you're probably familiar with this. So there's the in breath, and then there's a pause, very brief pause, and then there's an out breath, and then there's a pause. And usually the pause at the end of the out breath is a little bit longer. And in Zen, the pause at the end of the out breath, particularly, is thought of as a Dharma door. And from a Taoist point of view, so breathing is this cycle of yin and yang, of breathing in and breathing out and breathing in and repeating. It's this it's kind of an embodiment of the yin and yang idea. And that has to do with movement, impermanence, so movement through time. Within the yin and yang, within the in-breath and out-breath, there is stillness. Okay, and so the stillness is most accessible, I think, for many of us at the end of the out-breath, because there's no breathing going on. And this is a really direct way to experience this stillness, or silent illumination is one of the ways they call it. And it's very accessible. So when we're doing our standing practice and our sitting practice at the end, I'll just mention this to actually lengthen that space at the end of the out breath a little bit without sort of tensing up and holding your breath, but just rest in it. And then while you're resting in it, just use your mindfulness and just notice, okay, now how does this feel? How does the body feel? And what is happening in the mind? Because when there's stillness, there's not all this coming and going. Then that awareness, that mindfulness can become much more clear because we're not distracted by all the movement. So we'll come back to that. So that's why I just want to mention it. The other thing is that from a Qigong point of view, so you know these things, these Ukrainian dolls, right, that have all these different levels of body, right? I bring this into prison and the guys can't believe it. They've never seen anything like this. Anyway, so and I use this as an illustration of the levels of body that are fundamental to Qigong, and particularly the physical body with all the senses, and the energy body, which is the Qi. And so we will move through the growth, from starting with the gross physical body into more subtle manifestations of Qi. Okay, and we'll do that with our standing and our sitting practice. So just wanted to lay the groundwork a little bit for just so you have kind of a cognitive understanding. And now I'll put this on this view for YouTube. Hey, let's just begin with Trembling Mountain. This is a great little practice to do if you're going to go into a period of sitting meditation. Maybe it's your daily practice, or maybe you're on retreat. But this is a really good prelude to sitting. And you can lift your shoulders if you like, and sort of enhance that relaxation of the shoulders. You can move your head around, move around a little bit. And experiment. You can do this like this, or like this, or kind of in between. Just sort of just let yourself go into this. Okay, so it's body, breath, and mind. So the three elements. We're very aware of body, aren't we? We really can feel it. We're kind of overwhelmed with the physical sensations of the body when we do this. Okay. And then we can bring our attention to the breath. So it's bouncy, but it's still rhythmic. You can see if you're breathing fast or slow, deep or shallow. And this can bring the mind right into the body. And by that I mean that we're not thinking. Thoughts really they have a hard time shoving their way in to consciousness, because there's all this stimulation going on. So we can get a sense of the stillness of the mind in the midst of this motion, okay? Okay, so that's the stillness in the movement. Also, we can bring our attention to our posture, that is the vertical axis. And even though we're bouncing, that vertical line, or the posture of the body is still. Okay, now let's bring our attention to our sense of feeling, and feeling the skin. So where the skin meets the air or your clothes, the surface of the body. Okay, and now let's bring our attention to internally, to the inside the torso, maybe inside the hands, arms, so we can feel our organs, muscles, bones. We can feel them. If your stomach's empty, you can feel it. And if it's full, you can feel it. You can feel the heart. You can actually feel all of it. Now, the sensation associated a lot with feeling internally is warmth, particularly on a warm day. You can feel the heat of the body, and it's generating more heat because it's moving. So you can feel that heat. Okay, and let's just on the count of three, let's stop. So 1, 2, 3. And now can you feel the tingling? So two of the main qualities of chi or life force energy are tingling and heat. So if you can feel the tingling and you can feel the heat, that's good news because it means you're alive. And it means you're aware of the life force energy in your body. Now let's bring the attention to the mind, because the mind is made of the same thing. So that tingling, that's best described as kind of as energy, like electricity or energy of some kind. And the space of the mind is also energetic like that. So this is the mind without form, that is without thinking, just the space of the mind. It's the same. Okay, very good. Now, focusing on the heat, can you feel the heat kind of radiating out? You know, like your skin is cooler where it touches the air, and the heat is, the body is exuding heat in all directions. Okay, okay, very good. Okay, very good. Go ahead and break your stance. Okay, and then just drop into this standing posture and let your hands kind of turn to face each other a little bit. And then your elbows bend just a, they just naturally kind of do that. Like if you're lying in bed asleep, your arms aren't stiff. They're bent a little bit. They're relaxed. Okay, so body, breath, and mind. So the body's in this posture and it's upright. And then we can focus on the breath, which is the movement. Now the mind, we can add to this. So we breathe in, we can feel the torso expanding. Breathe out, we feel it relaxing and radiating. So breathing the stars, so we breathe in through our nose. We also breathe through all the pores of our skin, fill up the torso. Breathe out through the pores of the skin in all directions. So the mind is enhancing the experience of breathing in a felt sense. Okay, very good. And now just feel the hands. You feel the tingling in the hands. Now, if you would please, just close your eyes. Feel that tingling in the body. And now actually focus your eyesight on the insides of your eyelids. There's no forms there, but focus your eyesight on the insides of your eyelids. And what do you see? Is it just black? Is it like a visual representation of the tingling in the body? Is it like millions of dots moving around? When there's no object to focus on, it's just a feeling. And we can see the chi. Okay. And you can do this with a blue sky. Just look into the blue sky, no object. If you're in Zen meditation, you'll be facing a white wall. Look at the white wall. And you don't see nothing. You see this energy. You see this chi. Likewise with hearing, it's all waves. So we're entering the energy body now. Awareness of the chi, of the energy of life, the life force energy. And this isn't woo-woo. This is life force energy. Without this, it's like a light bulb is either on or off. So the electricity is a real thing. The energy in the body and the mind is a real thing. And we can perceive it. That which is perceiving it is stillness. Okay, now you can bring your attention to the posture of the body, the feeling in the body, the feeling on the surface of the body, the energy, the heat. If you bring attention to the mind, it's clear, it's called blue sky mind, empty, but it's all made up of this energy. Okay. Okay, very good. Very good. Let's loosen up a little. And go ahead, starting at the top, head and neck, shoulders. So even here, there's all this movement and all these sensations. And it's all being experienced by awareness, by presence, stillness. It's just always there. Okay. Okay, and another way to enhance the sensations of breath is this opening this gate. In breath, out breath. And the Buddha called this the breath body, whole body breathing. So the body is in harmony with the breath. And so the breath is personal and it's also universal, isn't it? So if the body's moving in harmony with the breath, it's moving in harmony with the cosmos, with everything that's breathing. And not only what's breathing, but just all the rhythms of yin and yang, whether it's day and night, left and right, up and down, birth and death, in breath, out breath. It's all the movement of yin and yang. And what's experiencing this is the stillness or the presence. Okay, let's just do a couple more. Okay, very good. And let's loosen up the pelvis, the hips. If you get a little bit of stiffness or pain in your lower back when you're doing this, that's okay. But if you get a lot, then don't do this. Okay. And then same with this next one. It's just, you want to keep the hips loose so we have good balance. Okay. Okay. So you can feel the chi and you can feel the alignment. Okay. So the alignment, and maybe you need to adjust it a little, just dip the chin a little, pull back the shoulders just a tiny bit, and then you can feel when your spine is aligned. So that's the stillness. And we're going to focus on the stillness. And we're going to move to one side, and then that line moves over the weighted foot. Then we can lift the other foot. Okay. So we're bringing the mind into harmony with the vertical alignment. And you could extend this down into the earth with your mind, and you can extend it way up into the universe. And then if you want to use your hands, play with this a little, that's fine. But keep the attention on that alignment. You can visualize it as a line, a laser beam of light, or a column of light. But mainly you feel it. You just feel when you're balanced. This is wildly effective. They've done a lot of studies on people who have poor balance and doing these practices, and it's very, very effective. Okay, all right, very good. Okay, now we'll move from this standing one position So just feel this. Adjust yourself so you're aligned. And just keep this, how this feels, keep this in mind. And let's go into flying crane. Move with your own breath. While you're doing the movement, can you sense that still standing body before you started moving? That's still here. That alignment, that connection between the center of the earth and the universe that doesn't change. Okay. And then when you in touch with that, now this is moving in stillness. They call it moving in stillness. The mind is still. The posture remains the same. And there's movement at the same time. So moving in stillness. And then bringing in the breath. You feel the stillness. Can you feel the constancy of the tingling? The tingling is always here, the warmth always here, no matter what. That's the stillness. Okay, now let's use the mind to extend the attention as the arms go out, extend out from the heart, out the arms, out the fingers, out all around like a tree. Connecting to all that is, to the net of Indra all around. Okay, and those connections remain even as we move. This body is not separate. This consciousness is not separate. There's always this infinite connection in all directions. That's always there. Okay? The alignment, the posture is always there. The breath is coming and going. Stillness and movement co-arise, coexist. So let's hold the next posture. Just hold. And send the attention out in all directions with the heat. Feel the tingling and continue. Okay, let's do a couple more. So we notice the posture, then extend with your attention down, rooting down to the earth, up into the universe. Sense the energy, the chi, the heat. So this is stillness. So where is the motion, the movement? It's in the breath, isn't it? Moving in stillness. Okay, very good. Let's go ahead and bring up our stool or chair, cushion. Okay, and so in this practice, we're going to move from the deep physical into the expanded energetic spectrum of consciousness. So beginning, this is a good mudra for this, fingers to thumb, or put your hands together. So starting with sensation, feeling the presence of the body. Particularly the bottoms of the feet and where your bottom contacts the cushion or seat, the pressure, and then using the mind, drop the attention down, like growing roots down into the ground, and feel that. What does it feel like to have roots into the ground? Pretty good. Okay. Bringing the attention up the body, up the spine, adjust your posture. Notice the stillness of the body and the sensations of the movement of the breath and maybe the heart. And sensing into the deep warmth and fullness of the torso. Just feel that inside the torso. It's very fluid, it's liquid, it's heavy, it's warm, it's full. Okay. Very good. And feel the arms inside the bones, the inside of the legs, spine. Okay, this is warmth and stability. Now let's feel the tingling wherever you feel it most. Skin, maybe face, hands, arms. Just feel that tingling. It's quite overwhelming. And feel the tingling inside the body. Okay. Feel the tingling on the skin. Feel the heat radiating through the skin. The warmth and aliveness of this body. And now letting your eyes close, just focusing on the inside of the eyelids. There's no form, but it's not nothing. It's just rapid, energetic pixelation. And actually, when we open our eyes a bit, everything we see is actually made up of that. We can identify forms, but it's all made up of that. So that's the nature of perception. Now bringing the attention to the mind, just noticing and feeling the presence of the mind without form. It's actually boundless, empty. Just feel the presence of that, which feels very much like the physical body. Okay, very good. Now with the out breath, breathe out through the pores of the skin. From the center of the torso, breathe out in all directions, and then breathe in from all directions and fill up the torso. So the boundary of the body is becoming permeable and vague. Now we can augment this with our attention. We can send out our attention in all directions, feeling out in all directions. No separation between inside and outside. And within this, there's the posture, the uprightness. There's the physical body, definitely. There's the space of the mind, very open, perceives everything. Space around the body, which goes out infinitely in all directions. And that whole space collapses with the in-breath into the torso, and then expands out with the out-breath. In-breath, it becomes compact. Out-breath, dispersed. And that which is perceiving all of this, experiencing all of this, is consciousness, aware of all of this. And even bigger than that is just presence, stillness, awareness that's actually doing all this. Okay. So, in a way, this whole spectrum is who you are. Deep into the physical body, this is real. The skin, sensations, what the sensations are made up of is the chi, the energy. The perception of that, space of the mind. Connection in all directions to all that is. And the deep stillness in which all of this comes and goes. Don't try to keep your attention in any one place just to do it. Your attention can move into the physical body, into the chi body, can move to the breath, it can move to the expanded awareness, can move to the posture. All of this, all of this is okay in this practice. And no matter where you focus your attention, something bigger than you is experiencing that. If thoughts arise, just gently bring the attention to the space in which they arise. We're not focusing on the forms, but the space in which they arise. Okay. Let's take a few more breaths. And then sort of gently just move your body a little bit. Can get a little stiff. Okay. So the thrust of these practices is not to escape the body or a physical reality. It's to be able to be present, to inhabit, so to speak, all these different levels, all this whole spectrum of consciousness, just like the dolls. We can be very focused on this internal, dense, physical presence. We can focus on larger and larger bodies, so to speak. And it's all, for lack of a better word, it's all who we are. So it's all fair game. So we don't have to meditate and think, and we get into this big expanded sense state, and it's blissful, and then we contract, we come back in. That's just the in breath. It's not that we've lost it or we're doing it wrong or something. That's just the way it is. It moves in and out. It expands and it compresses. That's the life force energy. That's what it does. Okay, so how is this useful? So if we get very contracted around something, we're very worried about something, we've been working too hard, we're stressed out. If we do these practices of expansion, we can stop and then take that breath, let it out, and expand much bigger than the problem. Okay. And then it softens. Okay. And it moves. Okay? And so then when we come back and we continue with whatever we were focusing on, it's not as dense, it's not as tense. It's more open. So very practical. Okay, let's go ahead and clap our hands one time. 1, 2, 3. And massage your eye sockets, temples, jaw, forehead. Okay, and make loose fists, tap your kidneys. And massage your kidneys. And thank you so much for your presence, for practicing together, and may your practice benefit all beings. If you'd like to stay and talk, that's fine. And if your dinner is waiting for you, see you next time.
Thanks a lot, Stephen.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, Bill, good to see you. Thanks for coming.
Sure. I sent you an email. If you
Okay.
could get back.
All right. All right.
Let you take care.
Thank you so much. I'm new.
I thought you were.
I mean, I came last week. Is it okay to be off camera during the moving parts?
Yes, let's do that.